Do you remember when the kitchen was more than just a place to cook? It was the heart of the home. The smells of Sunday dinner, the clatter of dishes, and the hum of old appliances made it feel alive. Kitchens once looked very different than the sleek, stainless steel spaces we know today. Some of those features have quietly disappeared, and with them, a little piece of American life. Today, we're looking at 10 old kitchen features that modern homes don't. 1. Built-in flour sifters. Before pre-packaged baking mixes, many kitchens had flour sifters built right into the cabinetry. You'd scoop in flour, turn a crank, and the flour would fall like powder into your bowl. Perfect for cakes, pies, and breads. It wasn't just practical. It made baking feel like a ritual. As boxed cake mixes and ready-to-use flour became the norm, those charming built-in sifters slowly disappeared. 2 metal ice cube trays with levers. If you grew up in the 40s, 50s, or even the 60s, you probably remember the struggle. These heavy trays held metal dividers that stuck tight to the ice, and you'd have to yank the lever to set them free. Families would groan at the sound, but nothing beat that first crack of ice on a hot day. With the arrival of automatic ice makers, the clunky trays became a relic of the past. 3. Hoosier cabinets. In the early 20th century, the Hoosier cabinet was the pride of many kitchens. Part pantry, part workstation, it had built-in spice racks, flour bins, and even pull-out counters for kneading dough. It was the command center for the homemaker. But as kitchens became larger and built-in cabinets became standard, the Hoosier slowly faded away. Today, they're collector's items that whisper stories of home-baked bread and coffee brewing on the stove. 4. Built-in wall ovens with chrome trim. By the 1950s and 60s, futuristic kitchens were all the rage. Sleek wall ovens, often trimmed in shiny chrome, gave a modern flair that felt straight out of the Jetsons. Families loved the look, but over time, these ovens proved less practical than the all-in-one ranges we use now. They were costly to repair, and as styles changed, the chrome gave way to plain white, black, and stainless steel. 5. Rotary dial wall phones in the kitchen. Before cell phones, the kitchen phone was the family hotline. Usually mounted on the wall with a long, curly cord, it was where kids whispered to friends and parents took calls about community news. It was always close to the fridge, because where else would you spend the most time? By the late 80s and 90s, cordless phones and then mobile phones replaced this kitchen fixture, but the memory of twirling that cord is still fresh for me. 6. Pull-out breadboards. Tucked into the cabinets like a secret drawer, pull-out breadboards were standard in mid-century homes. They gave families an instant work surface for slicing bread or rolling dough, often scarred with years of use. You didn't need extra counter space. The breadboard was always there, waiting. Over time, concerns about hygiene and modern countertop space made them less common, but they were a clever piece of old-fashioned design. 7. Colorful appliances. Avocado green, harvest gold, powder blue. From the 1950s through the 70s, kitchens weren't shy about color. Refrigerators, stoves, and even blenders wore bold shades that made every kitchen feel alive. As tastes shifted toward timeless neutrals, the rainbow faded, replaced by the stainless steel we see everywhere today. 8. Freezer chests in the kitchen. Before every home had a big refrigerator with a freezer on top, many families had a separate freezer chest right in the kitchen or pantry. These bulky boxes stored meats, ice cream, and the results of summer canning sessions. They hummed loudly and took up space, but they kept families well-stocked. As refrigerators grew larger and more efficient, the standalone chest in the kitchen was moved to the basement, or disappeared entirely. 9. Pass-through windows. Popular in mid-century homes, the pass-through window connected the kitchen to the dining room or living room. It was a clever way for moms to serve dinner without carrying heavy dishes around. Kids loved it too, often sneaking snacks through the opening. By the 1980s, open-concept floor plans made pass-throughs obsolete, but they remain one of the most nostalgic touches of the past. 10. Built-in banquettes. Once upon a time, the kitchen wasn't just for cooking, it was for gathering. Many homes had cozy built-in banquettes. Padded benches tucked into corners with a small table in the middle. Families squeezed in for breakfast, homework, or late-night card games. They were warm and inviting, but as homes grew larger and dining rooms became separate spaces, banquettes were left behind. Today, they're remembered as one of the coziest features of old American kitchens.